Hey guys, welcome to Priceless B-Movies. Y'all remember like back before the Tim Burton movies and the Joel Schumacher crap and the awesome Christopher Nolan Batmans? That Batman was that TV show back in the 60s with Adam West that everyone back in the 60s seems to think was the greatest thing ever, but anyone with half a brain in the last 40 years thinks it's absolutely ridiculous? Well, haven't you just wanted to see that kind of thing be done again? No? Well, what if, like, it's done, like, on a premium network in the 90s, so it's not like ABC, and there's some actual gore and, bad language and stuff. Then would you want to see it? No? Well, what if instead of a guy, it was a woman? It was a woman crime fighter, so it was a thing about, making females powerful. Then you'd want to see it, right? No? What if I told you there were boobs? Black Scorpion. So Black Scorpion stars Joan Severance as Darcy Walker, a cop in LA, the city of angels, as they always try to make it out to be, but it never is in movies like this. And really early on in the story, her father, who's also a police officer, is gunned down and she vows vengeance, and then the system won't let her have justice, so after that, she just starts to really question her job as a cop and whether it's something she wants to continue doing. She's at the same time working undercover with a friend of hers, played by Terry J. Vaughn, who is a prostitute. And she meets this girl's pimp, and this pimp is very abusive toward the girls and has possibly murdered one or two of them. When the system also lets the pimp go, Darcy completely loses it, and she does what everyone in that situation would do. She goes to this store that sells like fetish outfits and crap, and she breaks in, steals a costume so that she's dressed like this really weird barbed wire-esque character who is now going to call herself the Black Scorpion. That's what you'd do in that situation, right? I mean, I know that's what I would do. I would go out and I would buy some real kinky costume, put it on, and just start beating the hell out of random people. That's what I do. I don't know about you, but that makes total sense to me. Of course, every good superhero or superheroine needs a good supervillain, and in this film we get this Darth Vader-looking guy called the Breathtaker. Not going to tell you too much about this guy because his identity is kind of crucial to the plot, but I will say that he's one of the weaker supervillains I've ever seen. Basically, his whole deal is that he suffered some massive injury that, he can't breathe very well. He has a machine that breathes for him built inside of him. And he basically just kind of has a thing against anyone else being able to breathe. I guess it's just this gimmick idea that someone just got away with and decided to make a supervillain. But whatever, it works for this kind of film because, like I said, back in those Batman, shows in the 60s, the villains were all kind of weak unless it was one of the main rogues galleries. If it wasn't the Joker, if it wasn't Catwoman, if it wasn't Penguin, it was something like this, where it was just, here's this one-note gimmick bad guy, and that's exactly what we get in Black Scorpion. Adding fuel to the fire, so to speak, is the idea that Darcy's partner, played by Bruce Abbott, she's really got a thing for him. But he's really got a thing for the Black Scorpion, so it's basically like the Clark Kent and Lois Lane situation where she really likes Superman and, won't give Clark Kent the time of day, only it's reverse genders, which basically everything in this movie is reverse genders. The fact that the villain isn't a female actually kind of blows my mind. Gotta give some nostalgia points to Black Scorpion, though, because back in 2000-2001, the Sci-Fi Channel ran the TV series Black Scorpion, and I remember back then I was a total geek, which is to say, like, I'm not a geek anymore, don't look at me that way, but, yeah, I'm a total geek. But I would collect Wizard magazine back then, because I was really into comic books, I was really into comic book movies, X-Men and Spider-Man were starting to become a thing cinematically, and so I would collect that magazine. I had a subscription, and I remember the first issue I got had a calendar for the Black Scorpion TV show, and each month on it was a different character or a different villain, and, most of the time these villains and Black Scorpion herself is just this busty woman in this kick-ass outfit, and it's kind of, that's the ultimate thing to an 11 or 12-year-old boy. And needless to say, I watched the show religiously until it was canceled, and to this day, I have that TV show right behind me over my thumb, the complete series of Black Scorpion, because I love the show. but that was the TV show. And I'm not going to be that nice to the movie. This movie has a number of problems. The biggest problem in this film is that it's hard to tell if they were trying to make a campy superhero movie or if they were really trying to take it seriously. The R rating really kind of hurts this movie. I can't believe I'm saying that. But it hurts this movie because the violence, when it happens, is so gritty that it undermines kind of the campy, playful tone of the rest of the film. And also, the sex scenes, while I'm a pretty big fan of good sex scenes in movies, the sex scene in this is pretty weak, and honestly, they didn't need it. I don't think there was any reason to have the sex scene that they have in Black Scorpion, other than to just do it because it was the 90s, it was a Showtime movie, we gotta have this girl topless somewhere in here. And even I'm gonna come out and say that it's really gratuitous in Black Scorpion, and I don't think they needed to do it at all. All in all, I'm going to give Black Scorpion 2 stars. I think there are some things that you can enjoy with this movie, but you're really, if you want to get into the Black Scorpion universe, you're almost better off just watching the TV show. And I'm not just saying that because I saw the show first, I'm saying that because at least the show knew what it was. At least the show knew that it was campy and that it was supposed to be fun, it was supposed to be silly, and you were supposed to spend just as much time laughing at it as you were being entertained by it. Whereas with the movie, the R rating and kind of the grit that they try to throw into it really clashes with that. So I just don't think it works. I think that the first movie and the second movie to an extent as well were kind of an experiment, and the TV show is what it actually should have been. So that's my review of Black Scorpion. Stay tuned, I got a lot more reviews coming your way. Also, if there's a horror, action, crime, comedy film that you can think of that you consider a B movie that, not a lot of people talk about, or doesn't get the praise that it deserves, or had a really low budget, or, for whatever reason, it's overlooked in mainstream, and you'd like to hear my opinion on it, please let me know in the comment section. I'll see what I can do about getting a copy of that movie and doing the review for you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Priceless B movies.